I came home from a one-day work trip to find out that my 10-year-old daughter had been made to scrub someone else's vomit off a bathroom floor after my in-laws put her to work in their restaurant, while my husband went to the zoo with his other children. I didn't scream. I did this. 3 days later, there was a violent knock on their door. Hi. I'm Allison. 36, based in one of those small California beach towns where the number of tourists in July doubles the local population. I work as an office coordinator at a medical clinic. Badge, dual monitors, 100 emails a day. Patients think I just forward calls and print labels. Truth is, if I don't show up, the whole place crumbles in under 2 hours. You don't see me, but without me? Chaos. I have a daughter. Sophia. She's 10. Sweet, quiet, painfully polite. The kind of kid who says sorry before she remembers she was the one who got hurt. She tries really hard to be easy. For everyone. Even when she shouldn't. My, at the time, still technically, husband is Matt. He's the kind of guy who listens. Or at least pretends to. Nods in all the right places, sighs like he's carrying the weight of the world, might even offer you tea. Looks like care, until you zoom in. Matt had a previous marriage. To Rebecca. And yes, that name got mentioned in our house more than mine ever did. She was the one who left. He never got over it, his words. Said he wasn't ready to let go, took him a long time to heal. He has 2 daughters from that marriage, Isabel and Julia. 13 and 12 now. He loves them. I don't argue that. The problem is, Sophia never really fit into that family photo. She's quiet, low maintenance, and most importantly, not Rebecca's. That part seemed to matter more than it should have. Matt's parents, James and Brenda, own a beachside restaurant. According to them, it's a local treasure. They basically live for that restaurant. And for their memories of Rebecca. It's like they're still waiting for her to walk in with a bag of muffins and go, "Guess what? I'm home." As for Sophia, they tolerated her. Like a stranger's kid someone hands you for a photo. You can't exactly shove them off your lap, but you're not hugging them either. In their house, Isabel and Julia were the princesses. Sophia? The little helper. You're such a big girl, aren't you? Come help Grandma in the kitchen. I put up with that for 11 years. Why? Because after I lost my parents, I was desperate for family. I kept thinking it would get better. That they'd warm up to me. Or at least to her. Yeah. Naive. But sometimes hope is the only thing keeping your head above water. And then I got used to it. Stopped noticing all the red flags. It ended in one day. I had to go to San Diego for work. Just a supplier meeting, followed by some evening presentation. Same old people, same old talking points. Before I left, I asked Matt if he could handle things alone. He waved me off. Of course. And I believed him. That's on me. I came home late. Almost midnight. The house was quiet. Sophia's room, lights off. Bathroom light, on. I peeked in. She was sitting in the shower. In pajamas. Hugging her knees, quietly crying. So quiet, I almost thought I imagined it. But no. I asked what happened. She didn't speak. A minute. 2. Then she whispered. I helped Grandma at the restaurant today. I'm really tired. There were a lot of people. Lori was yelling that she couldn't keep up. Grandma said I was big now, and I had to help. She promised $30 and dessert if I did well. I tried. I really did. She was rubbing her arms like she was trying to scrub the whole day off. I sat beside her. Held her. Ran my fingers along her wrists. Red. Scratched up. What kind of help? I asked. Washing dishes. Carrying boxes. Sweeping. And then, a man. He threw up in the bathroom. Grandma said I'd be brave if I cleaned it. I wasn't scared. I did it. It was just gross. That last word came out in a whisper. Like she was ashamed it bothered her. I pulled her closer. You weren't supposed to do any of that, sweetie. But Grandma said. Listen to me. If something feels scary or awful or wrong, you're allowed to say no. Even if a grown-up says you have to. Okay. She nodded. Barely. I was boiling inside. Every cell in my body wanted to grab my phone and say exactly what I thought of them. But there was one more thing I needed to know. And it had to come from her. Where was Dad? She looked down. He went to the zoo with Isabel and Julia. In LA. He said I shouldn't go 'cause it's far and I get car sick. And they didn't give me the money. Grandpa said I need to learn to work. That I should be ashamed for asking to be paid for helping family. She said all that calmly. Like it was a weather report. Her voice only cracked at the end. I didn't yell. Didn't cry. Just nodded like she'd handed me a spreadsheet. And held her tighter. You did great today, sweetheart, I told her. Tomorrow, we're going out for cake. The biggest slice we can find. And we'll go to the zoo. Just the two of us. Sound good? Sophia nodded. Softly. Almost smiled. That heavy, too adult look disappeared from her face. I put cream on her hands. Tucked her into bed. And stayed there. No phone. No plans. Just me and her. One thought played on a loop in my mind. That's it. No more. We're done here. Matt was asleep. Peacefully. Even snoring a little, like a man who'd had a great day. I stood in the doorway, watching him like you'd look at a stranger who used to be someone. He didn't even flinch when I walked in. Maybe he was really out cold. Maybe he just pretended to be. Honestly, I didn't care. He was fine. Took his daughters to the zoo. Snapped a few pictures. Posted a story with ice cream and a #dadlife caption. The sun was shining. The girls were smiling. A good day, all around. Meanwhile, my daughter was cleaning vomit out of a toilet in his parents' restaurant. I couldn't sleep. I just laid there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, thinking. How the hell did we get here? When did I start acting like this was okay? Like it was normal to swallow it all down, smooth the edges, make excuses? They didn't mean harm. It's not that bad. I remembered how I met Matt. Charity fundraiser at the clinic where I work. He was a guest, standing by the wine table, listening to someone talk, nodding politely. Calm, polite, that rare kind of guy who actually seems to be listening and not just waiting for his turn to speak. I wasn't exactly at my best. 6 months after the crash. Both of my parents gone instantly. Drunk driver. Head-on collision. Back then, I was running on autopilot. I worked, ate, functioned, but I wasn't really there. Everyone else was drinking coffee, complaining about traffic, arguing over parking spots. I was just trying to breathe. Matt felt like an anchor. He didn't get awkward when I was quiet. He didn't interrupt when I talked about my mom. He brought food when I forgot to eat. Made omelets with goat cheese and spinach. Funny how I still remember the taste. With him it felt like maybe, I could come back to life. But even then, there was a shadow standing behind him. Rebecca. His ex-wife. He talked about her all the time. Sometimes annoyed, sometimes hurt, always confused. I did everything for her, he said. And she just walked out one day. No warning. Filed for divorce, and that was it. I listened. I sympathized. I believed him. He didn't seem like the kind of guy who could wreck someone's life. He looked like safety. Maybe I didn't want to dig too deep. I was alone. I wanted someone to hold my hand while everything else fell apart. I wanted someone to stay. So we got married. And there were red flags. Not loud, not dramatic. Just a slow drip of little things. Year after year. Like when he'd say, "You don't mind if I take the girls for a picnic, do you? You and Sophia can stay home." Sophia was 3. She just started asking to go on picnics with us. She had this dream, basket of cookies, plaid blanket, ladybugs. But no ladybugs for us. Family logistics. Then Isabel joined a theater group. School plays every semester. Matt never missed one. First row. Flowers in hand. He said it was important to show up when a kid steps on stage. And when Sophia had her first art show at the studio. He forgot. Later he said, "Oh, I thought it was just a class thing. You guys don't have an audience, right?" I kept it in. But it stung. Then there were the little jabs from his mom. Wrapped in politeness. Comparisons. Hints. Glowing Rebecca nostalgia. Once, Brenda decided to pass down the family cake recipe. One Rebecca used to make perfectly. Brenda said, Rebecca had a real talent for it. But you're trying, Allison, and that's what matters. I threw the cake in the trash. No one noticed. When Sophia was 8, she got really sick. Fever over 103. I didn't sleep all night. The next morning Brenda came over to check in, and said, Rebecca always handled things like this calmly. You seem a little sensitive. Thanksgiving. Brenda made little place cards. Isabel, our actress. Julia, future scientist. Sophia, our little helper. I sat there thinking, why am I trying so hard to belong to a family that clearly doesn't want us? First I got angry. Then I got used to it. Then I started making excuses. They just need time to adjust. Maybe I really am overreacting. I'm sure they didn't mean it like that. And then I stopped noticing altogether. Like when Sophia would bring water to the table, pass out napkins, sit last. Or when she got nudged to the edge in family photos, just scoot a little right, sweetie. Or when Brenda praised Julia for baking cookies, but told Sophia, maybe drawing's more your thing. And then came that day. Beach festival. Tourist flood. Restaurant slammed. They needed help. Matt had a reason, of course. Rebecca had called. Asked him to take the girls. And saying no to Rebecca? Not an option. The kids needed entertainment. Some kids, anyway. Sophia didn't count. According to Grandma and Grandpa, 10 is old enough to learn the value of hard work. And by value, they meant unpaid labor. In their restaurant. On a festival weekend. I showed up at the restaurant Monday morning. 10:03 a.m. on the dot. They were closed, no customers, no Brenda or James. Just empty tables, silence, and 2 employees, a guy from the kitchen and a hostess with that dead-inside look that says, I already regret waking up today. I walked in like I meant business. Not angry. Not anxious. Just with that calm, clipped energy you get before a job interview or an IRS audit. Face on, I'm reasonable, I'm polite, I'm not here to bite anyone's head off. Yet. Good morning, I said. My daughter Sophia was here on Saturday. She worked really hard and asked me to check how she did. I'd love to see the security footage, just to tell her she did a great job. Pause. The kitchen guy looked at the hostess. She gave him a shrug, like not it. We can't really show that, she said. You'd have to ask James. I leaned in just slightly. Lowered my voice, not threatening, just steady. Firm. Look. It's just a video. My daughter was here helping. I'm not here to yell, not here to start drama. I'm a mom. I just want to know what kind of day my kid had. Nothing bad happened, right? I'll take a quick look and leave. They glanced at each other. The girl sighed. Follow me. There were only cameras in the kitchen, back hallway, and loading area. No bathroom cams, obviously. So I didn't get to watch her scrub vomit out of a toilet. Didn't matter. I saw more than enough. The footage ran all day. I fast-forwarded with a shaky hand until I saw her. Sophia. Tiny. In a black apron that hung almost to her ankles, rubber gloves up to her elbows. Standing on tiptoes at the sink, reaching for a mountain of dirty dishes. Her back straight, arms moving fast. I couldn't see her face, but I know that posture. That's her I'll be good, I'll do it right, I promise stance. James walked by. Didn't even glance at her. Move faster. We're slammed. Don't slow us down. Cut to the next shot. She's carrying a crate of glass bottles. It's almost as big as she is. She's wobbling under the weight. No one stops her. Then she's dragging a full trash bag across the floor. Barely managing to keep her balance. No one helps. Next clip. Laurie, one of the servers, rushes by with a tray and bumps into her. The tray crashes. Plates everywhere. Laurie snaps. What are you even doing here? You're in the way. Sophia freezes. Doesn't move. Her face turns bright red. And then I see it. She swipes her eyes with the back of her hand. Quick. Like she's scared someone might see her cry. No one sees. No one cares. I felt it right then. That sickening punch to the stomach. Not fear. Something colder. Something sharper. Because this wasn't teaching responsibility. This was exploitation. And my daughter was in the middle of it. Alone. Last clip. Late evening. She's standing by the bathroom door, holding a mop and a bucket. Brenda is next to her. The camera doesn't pick up sound. Sophia nods. Walks inside. That's all the footage shows. But it was enough. I turned off the video. Saved a copy. Walked out, got in my car, and just sat there. 10 minutes, maybe 15. I was shaking. Not crying. Not screaming. Just sitting there, trying to wrap my brain around it. Trying to accept that this wasn't an exaggeration. Not some overblown, emotional misunderstanding. Not Sophia helped out a little. No. This happened. While her dad was off in LA eating churros and taking selfies with his other kids, my 10-year-old daughter was scrubbing toilets and hiding her tears. And nobody, not one adult, thought anything was wrong with that. I came home. Matt was in the living room, laptop on his knees, looking like a man who'd had a tough weekend. Tired. Busy. Focused. Like everything in his life was running smoothly. We need to talk, I said. He nodded without looking up. Is Sophia okay? She spent all of Saturday working in your parents' restaurant while you were off at the zoo with Isabel and Julia. Did you know that? She washed piles of dishes, carried crates, and cherry on top, cleaned vomit out of the bathroom after some drunk customer. She's 10. And your mom said it was good for her character. Matt froze. Closed the laptop slowly. Looked at me like he hadn't understood a single word. Wait, what? Why? I didn't know. Of course you didn't. Because it's easier not to know. Because not knowing means you never have to ask questions. He stood up. Moved toward me, arms out like he was going to pull me into a hug. Allison, this has to be a misunderstanding. I'll talk to them. I swear, it won't happen again. I stepped back. Hard. Your parents don't care about my daughter. About our daughter. And all you do is smooth things over with words. You've never actually done anything. You just disappear. He sighed. I get it. It's awful. But you're wrong. They love Sophia. She's their granddaughter. We'll sit down and figure this out. Right. Just like always. Another talk. Another round of polite smiles. And then back to normal. Tell me something, Matt. Did you ever stand up for her? When she came home from dinner without a gift because they forgot? When she got a mug with a company logo while your girls got bracelets? When your mom called Isabel and Julia the grandkids and referred to Sophia by name? You said nothing. Every single time. I didn't think it mattered that much, he said. I didn't realize it hurt like that. No. You just didn't want to think about it. Because if you thought about it, you'd have to do something. And you never wanted to. He rubbed his face with both hands. It was just one day. One. I honestly didn't think they'd make her work. My mom said she'd help a little. I figured, what, she'd pass out napkins? Maybe carry bread to a table? I didn't know about the bathroom. And what about the zoo? Did you not know about that either? Do you understand how it looks, taking your 2 older daughters out for a fun day, while the youngest stays behind with a mop and a trash bag? Why didn't you bring her? He swallowed. His voice dropped. You know how carsick she gets. I didn't want her to feel sick. I love her too. Then maybe pick something all your kids can do. Not just the ones from Rebecca. Sophia's your child too. Or does she only count every other weekend? He went quiet. Just stood there, looking for the right words. He didn't find any. It won't happen again, he said finally. I promise. I looked at him. Calm. No yelling, no crying. And in that moment, I realized I'd been waiting years to hear that promise. And even longer to stop believing it. I'm leaving. Today. Where? A hotel. For a few days. Then I'll find a place. Sophia's coming with me. He opened his mouth, closed it, said nothing. I packed fast. No drama. Sophia watched in silence, like she always did. In the car, as we were pulling away, she asked quietly, "Are we coming back?" I squeezed her hand. Definitely. Just not to them. The next day, I called a lawyer. Asked what the law says about what happened. The answer was clear. California has some of the strictest child labor laws in the country. And what happened to Sophia? Absolutely illegal. She's under 12. No parental consent. Heavy lifting. Unsanitary conditions. There's video. There are witnesses. Then I filed an official complaint with the Occupational Safety and Health Office. Included the footage. Dates, names. Wrote up exactly what Sophia told me, and what I saw myself. Matt called 4 times. I didn't answer. On the 5th, I texted back. Sophia is safe. We're at a hotel. I'm tired. On the 6th, I blocked his number. I knew he didn't know how to be alone. Not without his comfy little narrative, where he's the good dad, just a little overwhelmed. Where he plays peacemaker between me and his parents instead of their grown son who stays quiet while they call my daughter Allison's kid. But I was tired too. Not I need a nap tired. Bone deep. Soul deep. Sophia was eating ice cream and watching cartoons. In clean pajamas. In a clean room. In a place where no one was calling her the little helper. Where she could just be a kid. They thought I was still the good girl. The kind who keeps her head down. The kind who suffers in silence, but never speaks up. Yeah, they were wrong. 3 days later, the restaurant got a visit. Not from a customer. From labor inspectors. With paperwork. And consequences. That's when the phone started ringing. First Matt. Then Brenda. Then some random number I didn't recognize. I didn't pick up. The inspection lasted all day. They interviewed staff. Took the camera footage. By the evening, the story was already crawling through the neighborhood. Not in the press, through texts, voice memos, whisper chains. Something's up with Brenda. Cops at the restaurant. Something about a kid, apparently. Someone even messaged me on Facebook. From an anonymous profile, of course. Hope Sophia's okay. This is awful. I always noticed how they treated her. Stay strong. The next day, my lawyer called. Apparently Matt's parents had already lawyered up. They were claiming I got the footage illegally. Private property, no permission, blah blah blah. Said I'd done it behind their backs. And direct quote, the mother just didn't like that her kid helped her grandma. At her own request. I didn't say anything at first. Then calmly. Tell their lawyer if they push this, I'll leak the video online. Not from my account. Anonymously. Let them deal with public opinion instead of me. He was quiet for a second, then said, "You're surprisingly calm." That's because I'm not scared anymore. 2 days later, Brenda reached out. WhatsApp. From someone else's number. First a message. "We never meant harm." Sophia agreed. "Don't ruin the family over one incident." Then a voice note. Teary. Something about their license being at risk. The fines being devastating. That they were just trying to teach the girls some responsibility. Kids these days are so lazy. Said that she was scrubbing floors at 10, wearing an apron in her parents' diner. And anyway, don't you want Sophia to grow up strong? I didn't respond. Because Sophia already is strong. Too strong. Because she had to be. Then Matt found me. At the hotel. In the lobby. I was on my laptop, pretending to work, pretending to read reports. But all I was thinking was, so, now what? He walked over with the same look he always wore. The furrowed brow. That I'm tired but trying expression. Holding a coffee like it was a peace offering. "Can I sit?" I nodded. Flat. "I'm not here to fight," he said. I want to understand. Did you file the complaint?" I looked at him. "Yeah." He exhaled. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because you'd have tried to talk me out of it." You realize this is serious? It's not just a family fight. It's their business. They could face real fines. They might lose everything. Yeah. Is that what you want? Did you want your daughter scrubbing vomit off a toilet? He went silent. Fully. You could have stopped this, Matt. Years ago. You could have told them to stop asking Sophia to clear the table while the other kids watched cartoons. To stop sending her out of the kitchen when they baked cookies, just with the granddaughters. To stop forgetting her when they ordered matching Christmas dresses. You could have said, hey, she's a kid too. Not an afterthought. Not the help. He lowered his head. You stayed quiet. Because it was easier. And now you want me to feel bad. He shook his head. I wasn't perfect, I know. But I love Sophia. I really do. I don't know how we got here. Because you let it happen. Because you kept telling yourself it wasn't that bad. Well now it is. I sighed. I let it get this far too. That's on me. But it's never happening again. Ever. He looked up. Are you getting a divorce? I met his eyes. Do you want to save your family, or just protect your parents? He didn't answer. Later that day, his parents filed a counterclaim. Claimed both parents, me and Matt, had verbally agreed. That Sophia had volunteered. That Grandma and Grandpa were just trying to involve her in the family business. That the mom, me, was overreacting. And then came the parade. Mother is emotional. Unstable. Makes mountains out of molehills. Projects her anxiety onto the child. No prior complaints on record. I laughed when I read it. Soft. Bitter. Breathless. They forgot to attach a photo of Rebecca, I told my lawyer. Or is she Sophia's mom now too? A week later, the restaurant shut down for renovations. Translation, pending investigation. Staff were put on leave. Inspectors went through everything, equipment, sanitation, payroll. They pulled every invoice. The rumors spread like wildfire. Their seafood supplier canceled the contract, temporarily. Then permanently. I rented an apartment. Small. 2 bedrooms. Bright enough. Faces a parking lot. Old fridge that hums all night. But Sophia laughs there. And that's what matters. They tried to settle. Through lawyers. Through mutual friends. Through Matt. If Allison drops the complaint, we'll fix this. Make it right. Money. Help. Some kind of arrangement. But I'm not a negotiator. And I'm not begging. I'm a mother. And a mother doesn't bargain when it comes to her kid. It's been a year. The investigation wrapped. The restaurant paid the fines. Big ones. The kind that makes small-town business owners sweat blood. They tried to hang on for a while. New menu, summer barbecue special, the whole rebranding show. But this is a small town. News travels faster than a waitress on roller skates. And reputation? It's like a porcelain plate. Once it's cracked, good luck gluing it back together. 3 months after the court hearing, they shut down temporarily for renovations. 6 months later, it was permanent. Bankrupt. Too much spent on lawyers, settlements, damage control. But what really ran out was trust. Matt took less of a hit. But yeah, he still got hit. He's a real estate agent. Was doing well before all this. Happy clients, referrals, Mr. Reliable. Then people started canceling. Some were polite about it. Others? Not so much. Wait, are you that Matt? The one whose parents made a 10-year-old scrub puke out of a restaurant toilet. He got defensive. Tried spinning it into a messy family situation blown way out of proportion. But the internet has a long memory. And so do people around here. I filed for divorce. No screaming matches, no drama. He didn't fight it. Signed everything. The house stayed with me, it was in my name anyway. I think Matt just knew it was over. Now it's just me and Sophia. I finally reupholstered the kitchen chairs. The ones I hated for 10 years. Tossed the old curtains. Bought a new kettle. Bright red. Big spout. Small things. But it all feels new. Sophia's almost 12. She's in art school now, working on pieces for her first show. The other day she came up to me and said, "Mom, I want to draw a comic about a girl who defeats a three-headed restaurant monster." I smiled, because I know that girl's gonna win, no matter how many heads the monster has.